over the moon! Finally, after 5 minutes of building this door, hinges and all that, gonna put the door on, lean it on, press it against it, and I'm just gonna mark one corner so that when I take the door off, I can put it in place where it was, mark around the whole thing where I want to tip my edges, start tipping the edges, trim it down, wrap it, and 2 minutes later I'll be done. 2 days later. Door frame gapped, ready to wrap. Now we've got our lines. We're going to match those lines up like so. Then I just want to hold the door frame in place, but I don't want to scratch it, so I'm just going to put a piece of wood. And then, smart idea, 8,336 of the day. Little packer underneath the door, and just happy days, and that is where we want it to sit. Now what we do, smart idea number 2 of the day, go with the scriber, scribe exactly on the edge all the way around where we want to trim and turn our edges. Happy days. Now we put some lining tape around it and we mark 10 mils around our straights. Around the corners we're going to trim down to 5 so they come around nice and easy. Then we just run around with the bead roller or the edge turner, then finish it off with hammer and dolly. We've got lining tape and the door skin. What I'm going to do, 10 mils, the orange is 10 mils wide, then I've marked 5 mils of the purple, so I'm going to just trim along the edge, nice and neat along the edge, and it's done, ready to turn the edges. The reason I go 5 mils around the corner is it's just way easier to turn on itself. If it's big, if you do a 10 mils, you have to do a hell of a lot more shrinking, and that makes it complicated and easy to mess up. So you just go downsize. What we have here, the door skin flat, but when I bead roll these edges and turn them over, it's going to pull the slightest of slight hollows in the middle of the panel. So all I'm going to do is I've got almost no pressure on the wheel, and I'm just going to go lightly over the whole thing, put a smidge of shape in it. That way, when I turn the edges over themselves, it's going to pull that shape out, and we're going to be left with a flat panel. Happy days. Love it. Lovely stuff. What we're doing now is we've got these black koki lines. We're just going to bead roll just on the edge of them. That's where this frame will be sitting. So we'll have those turned 90, and then from there we're just going to hammer it over 180 degrees, and that's the door wrapped. And that's Jean, he's on the bead roller. Or klein snoer, or snoer die boer. Gooi cola, meisie. breaking a sweat. Boy, it's alright.
Okay.
Yeah, out of breath.
I did it though.
We got our door skin here, got the edges bead rolled. Now what I'm gonna do is use the edge turning tool. Got that little MacGyver, I've cut all and these other ones just to bend it all 90 degrees around. So that's what I'm gonna do now. Okay, all our edges are turned, looking good, looking sharp, looking sweet. All I'm gonna do now is put a flat dolly on the backside, body hammer, and just tap it over slowly, work it little bit by little bit. When you're doing it, you must make sure that your panel doesn't shift forward. So constantly look at the corners, and if it does shift forward, stop, hammer it back, make sure it must sit where you scrubbed. If you have a look, you can see my panel has shifted forwards just slightly. That 1 mil looks insignificant, but then we 1 mil out there at the top and it's not going to fit on. So I'm just take the clamps off, shimmy it back that slight amount because it's very important, clamp it again and hammer it over. You could see when I was hammering, these two puckers are fighting me. That's because that's where the material wants to shrink in on itself. So I just got to work it slowly. Multiple soft blows. Knock that guy in and down, in and down, in and down, and get it to crush in on itself and shrink. So we've got this wrapped along here, but if you have a look, hasn't pulled hollow at all along the edge. That's because we have our dolly on the outside. So all along where we've wrapped, it's looking sweet. We have a little bit of a jagged corner here. You can see it's got a flat spot, which should be a constant radius. So just over here, I'm going to hammer it a little bit more in, but then when it comes to gapping on the car, I'll get it to fit sweet. Maybe I'll file away, maybe I'll weld on there. We'll have to see. Wow of tears. Does it flow? Does it look good? Do we start over? Hey, Caripa! Nervous. Oh, wow. Puppy. Little bit out here, so we can bring that up, but. Hot Kariba. My feelings. These doors have only taken me 2 minutes to make. So I won't lie, I'm not that excited. Pretty damn happy that they are done. They are flowing. We've got a little bit here. We're gonna have to tap this side up in the center, bring this tip down a little bit, the same on this side, just bring that down a little bit. And then, mamma mia. She's a beaut, an absolute beaut. A charm. So this is our finished product. We have the Legere frame wrapped and hinging. The rear is flowing perfect, the front just out. But now, that I'm going to fix, and then the gaps, pretty damn consistent. There's a couple areas I'm just going to have to file. These corners mainly, they came out a little bit square, and I might have to do a slight bead there, weld it, sand it, but that's for another day. That's this episode done. This door, 80% done. That's it, done. So we've got left, right, both doors wrapped and hinging. Happy days. Not gapped, but we're going to get to that. What I'm doing now is I'm going to wrap the boot, the bonnet boot, and then go to gapping everything one time. I was going to gap these, but don't feel like it. So we're going to wrap everything, then hop on gapping, then pada, send the car on its way. This is the bonnet. This is what we're wrapping now. Got our little latch centering it here. Hinges mount there. Happy days. 2 clicker holes so that when you have it on your hinges, it's aligned. I've gapped my Legere frame already to 8 millimeters. So when I wrap it, you're going to be left with a 5 mil gap. Once it's painted, you're going to be roughly around a 4 mil gap. And, there we go. Now we clamp it, hammer it over, put it on the car. What I'm doing now is I'm just checking that the Legere frame is sitting at the right height. So I've got my 1.6 mil that's going to be wrapped in. Going along, happy. And I can see here it starts dipping down. So that's going to be low. So all I'm going to do now is turn that corner up. Just the smallest of amounts. Then we check. Go back. Happy. Oh, they're still low. Turn up again. So you can skip this step and then you can wrap the bonnet, but then the cool part is you cut it off and start over. So usually you don't want to skip this step. Yeah. Boom, bam, wham, bam. There we have the bonnet wrapped. So you can have a look on these edges. Nicely it goes a 10mm flange. Then on the corners, I've brought it down to a 5mm, so it's easier to shrink on itself. Then on the straights, we just go back to a 10. But that is what we have. Does it fit? Does it flow? I don't know. I hope so. Bloody poet. The main areas I was concerned with was this top scuttle, and she flows. Then I was also concerned with the bottom here, and oh baby, baby, baby. Look at it from all the angles. It flows. Sides need some tweaking, gonna have to weld up. It's not 100%, doesn't flow 100% in the centers. That's not a problem. We tweak, we bend, we twist, we weld, we file, and then it's gonna be hundreds, hundreds, hundreds. Right now it's 80s. Okay, we have the bonnet wrapped and hinging. La la! So not happy with how it flows 100% yet, or the gaps, but what I'm going to do is finish a little frame for the boot, wrap that, and then once that's finished, go and gap doors, boot, bonnet, clean up the entire vehicle. But for now, close this, get on the boot. So we've got our internal structure bent here out of some 16mm tubing. What I'm doing now is just trimming, not gapping it exactly yet, just trimming it to fit in. So the bottom's going to need some more tweaking. And then once it fits in, we've got it hinging. I'm going to start stretching these areas to bring them up to flow with the rest of the body. But for now, we're just focusing on having it hinging and weld it together. Happy days, I've got the door gapped 5mm all around from here, whee, around. I filed. I didn't have any shortcomings, they were all just slightly too big, so I filed away 0.5 mm in some areas. But now, if you have a look here, you can see we got a consistent 5mm, and then whoopsie, it goes to 6mm. So all we're gonna do now, grab a Koki and measure, baba. There we got what we got there, 6mm. So we know we got a weld there. 6mm, more like 5.8. Going down slightly to 5mm. Then at the top again we measure, whoopsie. There's a 9mm gap. That's a no-brainer. So all we're gonna do now is taper the weld from 5mm and just lay a thick bead on further and further and further up to the end here. We're gonna make the gap probably 3mm, and then from there just sand it down back to 5mm. Wham, bam, happy days, doors gapped. Happy gaps, happy Martin. So what we have now is 3mm, 4mm, all smaller than 5mm gaps. So what I'm going to do is just break it down with a file, then come back with a scriber and just scribe 5mm along it, and it's done. Door's gapped, can have a consistent 5mm around the whole thing. So this door, yeah, went pretty smooth, pretty damn smooth. On the pip. put on safety glasses to take out clicos. That don't make sense. Vice grips on, clicos in, panel's not going to move now. So we just start doop, 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 hammering it over, and wham, bam, weld it, it's done 5 minutes later. So when you blitzing your panel over, you don't want to have your clamps too far apart, otherwise it's just going to make a bulge and then it's not stretching correctly, you could say. So clamps close together, knock it over, tack it in place so it can't move, it's fixed. Move the clamps up, tap it a bit more, tack it, move the clamps up. We just go like that around the whole panel. So the bunda on this thing, let me tell you, it's gonna look great. Yeah, here's the boot skin. Now, there's the internal structures. What I've done to the boot skin is just got it recessed so that it's not in the way. I could check this, I can design the hinges, and then from the future, listen to that nonsense. Once the hinges are designed, I'll go and start stretching these edges to bring them flush and flow with the body itself. Once that's done, same as the doors. Put this MacGyver on, scribe him, and yeah, bead roll, bend it, hammer it, call it a done day.